Alright, here we go. Okay, comparing and contrasting. Advanced grammatical structures for comparing and contrasting. Okay, the first use that I want to exemplify is to modify the meaning of comparative. To modify the meaning of comparative adjectives or adverbs. Yeah? To modify the meaning of comparative adjectives or adverbs. Let me give you an example in which we modify the meaning of comparative adjectives or adverbs. She's feeling better today. She's feeling better today. Okay, better is the comparative. Yeah, I want to modify the feeling of better. Alright, one possibility would be, for example, far better. Yeah, she's feeling far better today. Far better. Again, what am I doing? Modifying. Yeah, modifying the meaning of the comparative. Far better. A synonym for far better. Much better. Yeah, she's feeling much better today. Another possibility, a bit better. Another possibility, a lot better. Another possibility, significantly better today. Okay, I'll just give you this for a bit better. Would you say that's a little better? That's a synonym, yeah? She's feeling a little better. Would you say this is formal or informal language? A little better, a bit better, a lot better. Rather informal. So what are the formal alternatives for a little better, a bit better? Formal alternatives, yeah? Formal. Formal alternatives could be slightly better. Slightly better. Somewhat better. Somewhat better. Marginally better. Marginally better. Marginally better. Or considerably. For a lot, you can say, oh, she's feeling considerably better. Considerably better. Okay, so as you can see, there are many possibilities. Far, much, a bit, a lot, a little, slightly, somewhat, marginally, considerably, that can modify the meaning of the comparative. Yeah? Here you have some possibilities. So far, so good? May I? What's going on? Okay. If I want to emphasize a negative, I would say she's feeling, let's make it negative. She's not, yeah? She's not feeling better, yeah? She's not feeling better. If I make it negative, yeah? She's not feeling better. How can I make it more emphatic? I could say she's not feeling better. She's not feeling any better today. Yeah? This any would be emphasizing, yeah? A negative sentence or an interrogative sentence. Yeah? Any can emphasize a negative or an interrogative sentence in this context. Yeah? She's not feeling any better. You could say, she's not feeling better. She's not feeling any better. Yeah? Emphasis, more emphasis. If the sentence was without not, she's feeling better, and you want to make a negative remark, she's feeling no better. Sorry, no, she's feeling no better. So for a positive one, yeah, you could use no for emphasis. She's feeling no better. She's feeling no better. She's not feeling any better. Yeah? Emphasis for the negative or interrogative one. Emphasis. Negative emphasis for the positive sentence. I repeat. This no is negative emphasis for a positive statement. And this any is emphasis for a negative or an interrogative statement. Again, modifying the comparative. Emphasizing. So far so good? May I? I have quite a lot of things to tell you, so I'll hurry up a little bit. Okay, next sentence or next use. To avoid repetition after then. Yeah? To avoid repetition. To avoid repetition. Okay, have a look at these sentences. This is going to be repetitive, okay? This is repetitive. Peter's English is better than John's English. Peter's English is better than John's, oh my God, English. This sentence is repetitive. Peter's English is better than John's English. This sentence is repetitive. English, English. Yeah? This sentence is repetitive. How can I avoid being repetitive? Give me an example. He wants to speak. He said, me, I know. You? Okay, how? How can I avoid being repetitive? Peter's English is better than John's English. English, English. Repetitive, repetitive. I don't want to be so repetitive. How can I say it? Possibility number one. Peter's English is better than Rachel? John's. That's it. So just using the Saxon genitive and then a final stop, it's enough. We know that this Saxon genitive is referring also to English. Yeah? Alright? This is referring to English, and this is also referring to English. This is a rather informal way of avoiding repetition. Yeah? To avoid repetition. There is another way to avoid repetition, which is more formal. A more formal way of avoiding repetition. Peter's English is better. Let's start the same way. Peter's English is better than. How can I say it now? I don't want to be repetitive, but this time I want to be formal. Than. Oops, sorry. Than. Yeah? Than that of John. Than that of That is a way of avoiding repetition. Peter's English is better than that of John. Notice that here we don't have Saxon genitive. Yeah? We are representing possession with of. Than that of. Peter's English is better than that of John. So, avoiding repetition in an informal way, avoiding repetition in a formal way, than that of. Avoiding repetition in comparative structures. So far so good? May I? Okay, the next point I want to cover is I'm looking for my blue marker. Anyway, I'll just use the red. Oh, thank you, Rachel. Always on the lookout. Okay, the next point I want to cover. To emphasize a superlative, adjective, or adverb. to emphasize a superlative. Adjective or adverb? Okay, have a look at this sentence. Stupid example that just came to my mind. Messi is the best player in the world. The best player in the world, football player in the world. Okay, the best, yeah, the best. This is a superlative, yeah? This is a superlative. How can I emphasize something which is already emphatic? A superlative. There are some possibilities. The one that we saw in the example before? Okay, one of them is by far. Messi is by far the best player in the world. What is the other example that we saw just 5 minutes ago in the book? Far and away. Messi is far and away the best player in the world. Other possibilities, easily. Yeah? Messi is easily the best player in the world. Yeah? Okay, so these are devices that emphasize a superlative, something which is already emphatic, but with this it's even more emphatic. Yeah? Emphasizing superlatives. By far, far and away, easily. Emphasizing superlatives. May I? Okay, another point. To express that when something changes, it causes something else to change. Yeah? Something changes, something else also changes. Okay, the typical structure that we already know. Yeah? The more you study, comma, the more chances you have to pass. Yeah? The more you study, the more chances you have. Yeah. The more, yeah? This structure, you're already familiar with it. You can also make it like this. The less, and it would also make sense. The less you study, the less chances you have, yeah, to pass. The more, the less, You can make it short, yeah. Sometimes you can make it short. If the context is clear, yeah, if the context is very clear, you could just say the more the better. The more, the better. But when you have the better, yeah, when you use the better, you can make it short, yeah, much shorter, but you need context, yeah. So should I study more? When they tell you, the more the better. But because of context, you already know they're referring to the fact that the more you study, the more chances you have, yeah. So you can make it short, yeah, with context. The more, the better. There is an expression which is the more, the merrier. Should I bring some friends to the party? Yeah, the more the merrier. Yeah, the more the happier. Merrier means happier. Yeah, it's an old word like Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas. The more the merrier. Yeah, short expressions. You need context for that. Should I get there early in the morning, or should we go on holidays very soon? Well, the sooner, the better. Yeah, the sooner the better. Again, you can make it short, especially when the better appears. Yeah, you can make it short, but you need context. So far so good. May I? The more the better. The more the merrier. The more, the less the less. Okay, next. Now let's talk about equatives. Instead of comparing and contrasting, now let's talk about equatives. Equatives. When we are emphasizing similarity instead of comparison. One of the uses is to emphasize similarity. emphasize similarity. Imagine that I say, Cairo is as crowded as Sao Paulo. Cairo is as crowded as Sao Paulo. This is an structure that you're already familiar with. As, yeah? Cairo is as crowded as Sao Paulo, yeah? As. This is a structure you're already familiar with. How can I emphasize it? Well, how can I make this idea more emphatic? I can say things like just. Cairo is just as crowded as Sao Paulo. If you add this just, the expression suddenly becomes more emphatic. Yeah? Cairo is just as crowded as Sao Paulo. You could also say every bit. Every bit. Cairo is every bit as crowded as Sao Paulo. Yeah? So adding this, adding these words, you're emphasizing a similarity. This is already similar, but you want to emphasize it. Every bit as crowded as Sao Paulo. So just and every bit, emphasizing similarity with the structure as. May I? Am I going too fast? Okay. What else can I do when talking about equatives? I can emphasize negative equatives. How can I do that? What is the second biggest city in Egypt after Cairo? Alexandria. Oh yeah, that's the one, Alexandria. Thank you. So Alexandria is as crowded as Cairo. Is not as crowded as Cairo. Again, what is this? This is an equative. Why is it an equative? Because I have this as crowded as Cairo. Okay, but it's a negative equative because of not. It's not as crowded as Cairo. And I want to emphasize the not. So instead of not, I can say things like nowhere near. Nowhere near. Sorry, let me write it down again. It's not very clear. Nowhere. Is nowhere near as crowded as Cairo. What am I doing with nowhere near? Is stronger than not. The meaning is the same, but this is much stronger than the not. Yeah, it's substituting not instead of not. Alexander is nowhere near as crowded as Cairo. Another possibility of emphasizing this: nothing like. Nothing like. Alexandria is nothing like as crowded as Cairo. Yeah? Alexandria is nothing like as crowded as Cairo. So what am I doing? I'm emphasizing this equative, and I'm emphasizing it in a negative way. Substituting not. So far so good. May I continue? Okay, what else can I do? I can make exact numerical comparisons. Making exact numerical comparisons. How can I make exact numerical comparisons? Have a look at this. Cairo's population. Cairo's population is of Alexandria's. Okay, is of Alexandria's. Remember this, yeah, Saxon genitive at the end. Cairo's population is, you could say, half that of, yeah. You could say half. Let me use another color. Half that of. Half that of. Cairo's population is half that of Alexandria's. Here I'm making an exact numerical comparison. I'm making a comparison and I'm making it exactly half of it. This is true for the speaker. Maybe if you check the numbers, this sentence is not true, all right? But at least true for the speakers, in the speaker's mind. Cairo's population is half that of Alexandria's. It should be the other way around, yeah? Alexandria's population. Let's make it true. Twice that of, yeah? Twice that of. In that case, it would be true. Cairo's population is twice that of Alexandria's. Another possibility, x times that of, yeah? I don't know, 10 times that of. 2 times, yeah? 2 times that of. X times, yeah? X times that of. So this, with this structure, half that of, twice that of, 10 times that of, 2 times that of, x times that of, and then Alexandria's. With these structures, half that of, twice that of, 10 times that of, yeah, and make it exact. I'm making exact numerical comparisons. Not only that, there are other possibilities. Alexandria. May I? Is this clear? So far so good? That of. Another possibility, instead of that of, is the structure as, yeah? Let's say, instead of talking about the population, let's talk about the size. Cairo is, let's say Cairo is as big as Sao Paulo. Okay, this is a normal structure, again, comparing as Cairo is as big as Sao Paulo. How can I make it exact? Yeah, how can I make it exact? I could say half as big. I can say twice as big. I could also say x times as big. I don't know, 2 times as big. Yeah, 3 times as big. So half as, twice as, x times as, 2 times as, as. So with these devices, yeah, half as, twice as, 2 times as, yeah, I'm making an exact numerical comparison. So far so good? May I? Next point. What else can we do? We can do so many things. Okay, let's talk about other ways of comparing. Yeah? Other ways of comparing. Other ways of comparing. What other possibilities do we have when we want to compare? We can join 2 contrasting clauses. To join 2 contrasting clauses. How can I join them? Have a look at this. Here we have the joining structures, the joining words that we can use, and this is the sentence. In Japan, people slurp. If Lina was here, we could ask her if this is true or not. Maybe I'm saying something horribly wrong. Slurp. In Japan, people slurp their soup. Yeah, slurp their soup. Comma. In Spain, people consider it impolite. In Japan, people slurp their soup. In Spain, people consider it impolite. What devices can we use in order to join 2 contrasting clauses? beginning the sentence. Whereas in Japan, whereas in Japan people start their soup, in Spain people consider it impolite. Instead of whereas, other possibilities. We could also say while, also works. While in Japan people start their soup, in Spain people consider it impolite. There is a third possibility, which is whilst. Whilst in Japan. Whilst in Japan people slaughter their soup, in Spain people consider it impolite. Be careful because whilst is very formal. Very formal. Whilst in Japan, it wouldn't sound natural if you say it in a casual conversation. Whilst in Japan people slurp, in Spain people consider it impolite. So whereas, while and whilst, to join two contrasting clauses. So far so good? May I? Whereas, while, whilst. What else can we do? We can also introduce a similar fact or contrasting fact. No worries, I'll be finishing very soon and I'll let you have a look at your exams. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. To introduce a similar fact. To introduce a similar fact or contrasting fact. Okay, let's have a look at this. The cost of living, have a look at this sentence. The cost of living is soaring. What is the meaning of soaring? Going up, Going up so much. To soar, To soar is to go up very much. The cost of living is soaring. Fuel prices are increasing. Fuel prices are increasing. Okay, here, am I introducing a similar fact or a contrasting fact? Similar fact. So, what could I say? I could say, similarly. Similarly, fuel prices are increasing. Similarly, fuel prices are increasing. A synonym for similarly? Let me give you one. Likewise, fuel prices are increasing. There are also some phrases that you can use, like in the same way, in the same fashion. In the same way, in the same fashion. But I'm giving you two sole words. Similarly, fuel prices are increasing. Likewise, similar prices are increasing. Let me continue with another sentence. Salaries are coming down. Or are not growing, okay? Are not growing. Salaries are not growing. Here, am I introducing a similar fact or a contrasting fact? Contrasting fact. So what can I say? By contrast, salaries are coming down. Any other possibility? In comparison, salaries are coming down. However, or on the other hand, are also possibilities that you already know. However, salaries are coming down. On the other hand, salaries are coming down. These two are the ones that I'm teaching you today. By contrast, salaries are not growing, or in comparison, salaries are not growing. So, to introduce a similar fact, similarly, likewise. To introduce a contrasting fact, by contrast, in comparison. 1 minute. 1 minute left, I promise. May I? Okay, to compare two nouns. Compared to nouns. Okay. I don't know why examples about Japan are coming to my mind. Japan. Japan. Spain is not overpopulated. Japan. Spain is not overpopulated. Okay. What comes to your mind? Compared to, yeah? Compared to Japan, Spain is not overpopulated. Compared to, yeah? Compared to Japan, Spain is not overpopulated. Another possibility. Compare with is also possible. Compare with Japan, Spain is not overpopulated. So compare to, correct. Compare with, also correct. Another possibility in comparison. In comparison to Japan, Spain is not overpopulated. Another possibility. In comparison with. In comparison to, okay. In comparison with, also okay. So these four possibilities, yeah? Compare to, in comparison to, or with. So, and I'm comparing nouns, in this case, Japan and Spain.